Hi, my name is Marina Roberson, and this is my video presentation about physical and cognitive development during sexual maturity. Adolescence marks a period of rapid growth both physically and cognitively, triggered by hormonal changes of puberty. The process begins with complex hormonal signals that activate puberty and result in sexual maturity. This presentation will outline the key processes and changes during this phase of development, emphasizing both physical and cognitive changes. Puberty is initiated through a hormone cascade involving the hypothalamus, pituitary gland, and gonads, testes in males, and ovaries in females. The hypothalamus detects changes in the body's environment and begins releasing GnRH. This hormone stimulates the pituitary gland, which in turn releases LH and FSH. These hormones signal the gonads to produce sex hormones such as estrogen in females and testosterone in males. This hormonal change leads to the physical changes associated with puberty. Primary sexual characteristics refer to the biological and anatomical structures directly involved in reproduction which develop at puberty. For males, this includes the enlargement of the penis and testes, and for females, the maturity of the ovaries, uterus, leading to menstruation. Secondary sexual characteristics refer to physical traits that distinguish males from females but are not directly involved in reproduction. These include features such as body hair, for example, facial and pubic hair in males, and just body hair in females. Changes in the body composition, voice deepening in males, and breast development in females. Primary characteristics are directly involved in reproduction. In males, the testes produce sperm, while in females, the ovaries release eggs, and menstruation begins, indicating the capacity for reproduction. Without the development of primary characteristics, sexual reproduction would not be possible. Secondary characteristics do not directly influence reproduction, but play a role in sexual attraction and differentiation between the sexes. These changes may affect social and sexual interaction, but do not directly impact the biological act of reproduction. Males experience a rise in testosterone, which leads to the growth of the testes and penis. This deepening in their voice, the increase of muscle mass, the growth of facial and body hair. These changes typically occur between 11 and 16. Females undergo an increase in estrogen, leading to the development of breasts, wider hips, and the onset of menstruation. Females also experience growth spurts, with their height reaching its peak earlier than males. These changes generally occur between the ages of 9 and 14. The onset of puberty also marks significant cognitive changes. The brain is highly influenced by the increases in hormones, which facilitates the development of more advanced cognitive abilities. According to Piaget's, adolescents enter their formal operation stage of cognitive development. This stage is characterized by the ability to think abstractly, logically, and hypothetically. Adolescents can solve problems systematically, understanding abstract concepts, and reason with hypothetical situations. In school, this means that adolescents can think more critically and analytically about subjects like mathematics and science, where abstract thinking is key. In a daily life, they begin to think about the what if scenarios, planning for future goals, and weighing potential outcomes. Adolescents experience a shift in how they interact with their peers. Peer relationships become more complex, with a focus on romantic relationships, friendship dynamics, and group identity. Peer pressure can influence decision making, and adolescents may become more conscious of their social standing. The idea of the self also changes as adolescents begin to explore their identity and develop a sense of who they are in relation to others. This period is marked by an increased focus on self reflection and understanding one's values, beliefs, and goals. The physical and cognitive changes associated with puberty lay the foundation for sexual maturity. The development of sexual characteristics marks the ability to reproduce, while cognitive developments enable more sophisticated thinking and decision making. These changes impact relationships, self-identity, and social dynamics as adolescents navigate their way towards adulthood. In summary, puberty is a transformative period in human development marked by significant physical and cognitive changes. These hormones cascade from the hypothalamus to the gonads, leads to the development of sexual characteristics, both primary and sexually. At the same time, cognitive abilities improve, allowing adolescents to think abstractly, reason hypothetically, and develop a deeper sense of self. These changes impact every aspect of adolescent life, from physical appearance and reproduction to social interaction and intellectual development. And now part 2 is identity versus role confusion. Erik Erikson, a prominent developmental psychologist, introduced the concept of identity versus role confusion as one of the most crucial stages in human development. This stage, which takes place during adolescence, is centered around adolescents' efforts to establish their personal identity. It plays a pivotal role in shaping how they view themselves and navigate their place in the world. In this section, we'll explore the importance of identity formation, its relationship with self-concept and self-esteem, and how adolescents establish their identity. Erikson proposed that during adolescence, individuals face the challenge of identity versus role confusion. This is the fifth stage of his psychological development theory, and it occurs between the ages of 12 and 18. The primary task of this stage is for adolescents to explore their personal identity, who they are, what they value, and where they fit into society. If adolescents successfully navigate this stage, they develop a strong sense of identity. However, if they struggle to find a clear sense of self, they may experience role confusion, where they feel uncertain about their place in the world, leading to difficulties making decisions and a lack of direction. Self-concept refers to the cognitive understanding and self-acknowledgement an individual has about themselves. It encompasses beliefs, values, traits, and goals that an individual holds. In adolescence, self-concept becomes more complex as individuals explore different roles and ideas about themselves. Self-esteem is closely linked to self-concept, referring to how individuals evaluate their worth and value. High self-esteem arises when adolescents feel confident about who they are, while low self-esteem may occur when there is a disconnect between their concept and their ability to meet personal goals or expectations. Both self-esteem and self-concept play a certain role in identity formation as they help adolescents determine their personal beliefs and attitudes about themselves, contributing to a more stable and positive sense of identity. In essence, self-concept provides the concept for the identity, and self-esteem is how adolescents feel about the identity they are following. Developmentalists suggest several key areas of exploration that contribute to the formation of an adolescent's identity. These areas include occupational identity. Adolescents begin to explore potential career paths and develop a sense of who they want to become in their professional life. Ideological identity. This involves forming beliefs, values, and attitudes about political, social, and more issues. Adolescents may question their family's values and explore new ideas to create their own belief system. Interpersonal identity. Developing relationships with peers, family, and romantic partners helps adolescents understand their role in social contexts. And cultural identity. Adolescents explore their culture, ethnic, and religious backgrounds, which influence their sense of belonging and community. All these areas come together to form a well-rounded identity, helping adolescents understand themselves as individuals and within larger social, cultural, and professional contexts. Sociologist James Marcia expanded on Erikson's idea by identifying 4 identity statutes that reflect how adolescents go about forming their identities. These statutes are based on the degree of commitment to a particular identity and the degree of exploration or questioning of different options. Achievement. Adolescents in this status have explored various options and made firm commitment to an identity. This might be seen in those who have carefully considered their career, values, and beliefs and made deliberate decisions. Foreclosure. In this status, adolescents have committed to an identity without undergoing much exploration. This could happen when they adapt the values and roles prescribed by parents, peers, or social expectations without questioning them. Moratorium. Adolescents in this status are actively exploring various identities and experimenting with different roles, but have yet to make a firm decision. This period is exploration is crucial in forming a more authentic and self-defined identity. And diffusion. Adolescents in this status have neither explored different identities nor made commitments. They may feel aimless or directionless, struggling to develop a clear sense of self. This status is often associated with a feeling of confusion and uncertainty. The process of establishing a solid identity during adolescence is crucial for several reasons. Personal confidence. Adolescents who form a stable sense of identity are more likely to have high self-esteem and experience a greater sense of well-being. Psychological adjustment. A clear sense of identity helps adolescents navigate the challenges of adolescence, such as peer pressure, academic stress, and emotional development. A well-established identity provides a foundation for resilience. Future pathways. Identity formation also influences decision-making and life choices. Those who have established a strong sense of self are more likely to make decisions that align with their values and goals, leading to greater satisfaction in adulthood. In conclusion, the process of identity versus role confusion is a pivotal stage in adolescence where individuals must explore different roles and aspects of their identity. The exploration is strongly tied to self-concept and self-esteem, which provide the foundation for how adolescents view themselves and their place in the world. James Marcia's identity statues offer a useful framework for understanding how adolescents form their identities through exploration and self-commitment. Establishing a clear and stable identity is essential for personal growth, self-confidence, and psychological well-being, setting the stage for the challenges and decisions of adulthood. Thank you so much. This was Miranda's presentation.